Hello, my name is Jason and welcome to Designcast. It's a podcast where I interview a wide range of guests and ask the question, how do you design education? Why is this important? Students all learn differently and need varied teaching methods to be successful. It is more important now than ever to accommodate and personalize education for all students as much as possible. I use my 25 years of experience as an educator to ask questions and to learn about the exciting things people are doing to provide for all students and their unique perspectives. Each episode, I chat with guests from all over the world, from classroom teachers, authors, consultants, and beyond. We chat around a range of topics that we feel are important right now. Will you join me in this journey to learn and grow together? If it's your first time here, welcome. Thank you so much for taking the time to check it out. If you like this podcast, please leave a review, rate, subscribe, share, and download from your preferred podcasting app. This helps the podcast get discovered by new listeners. Also, please use the hashtag Designcast when discussing your thoughts and feedback on your favorite social media platform. To connect with me, I would love to hear from you. Thanks for listening. So let's get on with the episode. On this episode of Designcast, I was joined by Pim Arora. Pim is currently working at the Western Academy of Beijing with me. We have talked all about collaborating on an episode for a really long time, and now we have finally done it. She details her journey as an international student herself to her current role in education. You do not want to miss this episode, so sit back, relax, and enjoy this chat with Pim. Welcome back to another episode of Designcast, and I'm so excited to have Pim Arora with me today. Pim, how are you?
I'm good.
I can't wait to chat with you about everything that's going on in the design education world at the Western Academy of Beijing, where we're both at. And so, Pim, listen, there's going to be people listening who unfortunately don't know you yet, and that's their loss. And so I want you just to give me a little bit of kind of the quick intro to who you are and how you got where you are now.
I just want to say I'm really excited because I've been following you for quite some time and watching or listening to these design casts, and I actually can't believe I'm on one now.
I can't believe you're on either. I'm excited to have you.
Yeah. I'm Pim, and I am a high school NYP DP design teacher at Western Academy of Beijing. I was born in Thailand, in Bangkok, but my family has moved around because my father was a diplomat. So different places around the world, in international schools, graduating from International School Bangkok. You know, it's fun teaching these students when I used to be sitting in their chairs as well. So it's very similar feelings and stories.
That's awesome. That's awesome. So where did you go to university and stuff?
I went to Syracuse first in New York, upstate New York. You know, their football is the best. And then I did a postgraduate diploma in London, at London Metropolitan University in usability. So,
cool.
Yeah, so that's kind of the background of where the technology design type I got exposed to that there.
Dude, that's awesome. I didn't realize you had that in the usability department. That's really super cool. And I know that's going to come into play, I'm sure, when we, a little bit later in our chat.
But funnily enough, like the usability thing, when I graduated in early 2000s in London with that degree, usability was not a thing. It was something that was actually not really prioritized yet. So it wasn't well known. And the more everything just started going in technology and interfaces and, you know, making people happy with their products, what they're paying for, it became a standard. But that took about 7 to 10 years after I got that degree.
Wow, you're a trailblazer. So you really are one of those students that has this education that is for a job you don't even really know where it's going yet, a lot like our kids that we're teaching now, right? So you can empathize with them even more.
Yeah.
Wow, that's super cool, man. So with usability, what did you do? Did you go straight into education, or what did you do when you finished?
So with that, I went back to Thailand to work. I got a job with a telecom company, one of the bigger ones there. Like, it's now called True. It used to be called Telecom Asia. And then I started kind of being part of this project management team that would try and sell technology and products. And with that team, the usability part of it came when I was trying to explain how to use something to the client.
Yeah.
And the manuals were not usable. They were not understandable. They were not step by step in the way that our brain works, So it started there, kind of simplifying complicated things and interfaces, I was part of the development team in the call centers, and these call centers had 18 screens open at one time. So we were trying to build an interface that integrated all those screens to lessen the time on a call. So it's just started with that.
So it went from screens to tabs, right?
Yeah, or windows, small windows inside.
Right. Oh my goodness. That's so funny.
Yeah.
That's hilarious. Wow. So we've come so far. I mean, seriously, it's so interesting to hear how far we've come if you think about that. I mean, I know when I say things to my own children or my students to say, I'm older than cell phones, or I'm older than, but with the internet we know of, right? So it just kind of blows their mind, and so it's kind of fun to hear those kind of stories, and that's super cool. Thanks, Pim. So I guess, how long did you do that?
I did that for 4 or 5 years, and then I jumped into the advertising industry, which is really where the creative part started, and advertising and creative and marketing part of design. So I was working on those interfaces, but then because where I was working required me to do marketing and advertising, then I started to simplify language and visuals, or call to actions, so it's trying to read the mind of the client or the customer or your audience, and then speaking that language, getting them to do something for something, a reason or not, so it is really fun, actually. And it was super high pressure. And at the time and at that age, I was looking for that. I wanted that pressure and work hard, play hard kind of mentality. And the people in Thailand, the marketing and advertising industry there is so advanced and so fun and colorful. I just really wanted to be a part of that. And so I went on doing it to myself, to managing a teams that can do it, so the whole process of getting the client, getting all their what it is that they're looking for, and then doing the research, and then talking to the team and having them come up with ideas and seeing if it matches or not, that whole process, the whole real design process is awesome when it comes from just words and a meeting with someone into a real tangible product that you can hold, or even that you can see or feel. Yeah, it's really amazing. And when that product is successful, that's even more amazing, so it's it makes everybody happy. There was that part of it as well in the advertising part and industry.
That's pretty sweet. I can only imagine that those experiences help when you're talking about the design cycle in schools. Yeah. So how did you make the jump into teaching and being in education?
Well, I think like that pressure, it started to eat away at me because I was, it really was a whole lot of pressure, but I started thinking about like who was this benefiting and what for, you know? I kind of had a little like epiphany that I wanted to either work in an NGO and do marketing or work in a school and do marketing. And the school came first as somewhere else to work, but then I ended up really enjoying the relationships in a school and like hanging out with just teachers and students. Like the students were learning from my experiences. I really enjoyed sharing that. And I wasn't a teacher yet, you know, so I had an old boss. He recommended that I become a teacher or get certified because he saw that I was pretty comfortable just talking and explaining things and pretty slow or pretty simple because of the usability part, you know, so that got me into education.
Yeah, that's awesome. And, you know, Pim, I mean, we're really lucky where we are because we have an awesome team of people with a really, really varied background. Many people did not start in education, especially in design, and sometimes like in art and other places. But, you know, a lot of people have come from different backgrounds. It's so cool to hear your background and how that lends itself to making you a better educator. And so I want to be respectful of your time, and I really want to hear about this one thing that I know people are going to be super interested in hearing, because we could talk about things all night, but I want to hear about your precious plastics topic or unit that you do with students.
Precious Plastics is a global open source organization that share their resources for you to apply in any context you like to recycle plastics. I started it as a day 9. In the day 9 is just like giving the kids a choice to do something for service, for, you know, something to do with sustainability. Let's try precious plastics, right? And I saw in our workshop that we have such a big workshop. I saw we had every single big machine that we needed to do this, but you know, they were being used as much. So I asked the middle school team, I'm like, can I use your machines? And they're like, go right ahead, right? So I took advantage of their kindness and I started collecting all sorts of plastic. I started asking around different colors, started sorting it, started experimenting first with flat sheets. And I realized that it's not hard to recycle. Not every day, but if you just wanted to just play around a bit, it's not that hard. And I started making laser cutting shapes out of the flat sheets. Then I started reading more, and you can get silicone molds and make plant pots out of it. You can get chocolate silicone molds and bake those, and you can make little pendants out of it or whatever. I made a gingerbread house shape out of it, you know. I realized that, and then with the waste that comes with that, you can then make jewelry. So it's just completely 100% recycled, and showing these kids that it is possible and you can sell it and make money out of garbage. It's garbage, trash. Right? So and then also be creative with the jewelry and start thinking differently a little bit and see how, you know, something can look good out of nothing. So then we started doing that on one branch, and then another branch, we started actually the client services side of it, which is now more finding clients, making what they asked us to make, and then charging for it, you know. So it's like a small business. The kids really love the social aspect of it and being there every single day 9, and they love like experimenting with the colors. And then, you know, we have students that love making the signs and posters for awareness. And then we have kids that love doing the project management part of it for the client services and talking to adults and all that, you know. So I'm trying to just show what it's really like. I mean, it's similar like that, like in the industry, you know?
Right.
very
You're a
small.
perfect person for that, man. You're ideal to help them with all the different aspects of how this works. I mean, like I was walking through the high school the other day and saw the tabletop of one of the coffee tables that you guys made. Just for anyone listening, day 9 is a day that we don't have classes and students have a choice of the kinds of activities they do throughout the day, and teachers can offer all kinds of different options. And so, it's a great opportunity for that. And I think anytime students are experienced to something where they're being very practical and very authentic with their choices, I think is super good for them.
They love doing some of them love doing. They're able to follow their passion and what they're interested in as a not academic, in their,
it's so good.
They chose what they wanted to do. You want to work on the creative part, then go do that part, but you have to produce, right? And then you want to work on finding clients or talking to other adults that want our products, again, go ahead and do that and let me know how it goes, and then I'm just there to show them the workshop stuff.
Right.
Yeah.
Pim, that's awesome, Pim. I can't wait. I'm actually going to use one of my day 9s to check out what you do with that. I really am trying so hard to get over there for you guys I want to watch this whole thing unfold, and maybe we could share some photos when the episode drops, and we can talk a little bit about, here's some products that you guys have made, and it's part of a larger scheme which we have at our school about sustainability. And so what are you doing with sustainability at WAB?
The sustainability part of the new strategic direction of the school is sustainability, environmental sustainability, everything sustainable. I was asked to lead the high school as a lead teacher in sustainability as a team. So it goes across all the divisions, but as a team, the 4 of us work on, of course, we do our activities regarding environmental sustainability and all that, but we work on the systems of sustainability. So we are working on our curriculum documentations, right? Our system for that. Then we're looking at systems for the systems thinking and all that, so it's just trying to dig deeper with sustainability in mind, right? So we have advocated, the school has pledged to be a global school, integrating SDGs wherever possible and encouraging it. We have an audit coming up with Metanoia, so it's starting already. So it's a sustainability audit that will identify places we could improve as a school, infrastructurally, economically, all of that, aesthetically, and then that audit will lead us to celebrate so many things as well as improve so many things, so that is in process right now. And I'm very excited about how that will turn out.
I'm excited too. I think it's going to be a great process of growth. And I feel that I see it in the students. I hear it in the staff. I hear the community talking about it. So that's what we want, right? That awareness that we can do our part every day, a little bit at a time. And so it's awesome that you're part of that. Thank you for being a part of that in our community, Pim. It's awesome to have you here. Well, listen, Pim, we've reached very close to the end of our time. Thank you so much. Can you believe it's so fast? It goes by so quickly.
Yeah.
I know. You're a natural. You're a total natural. You should have your own podcast, man. I'd listen to it, talking about sustainability and marketing and 19 screens. But so, Pim, I'm going to make sure that people in the show notes have a way to reach out to you and get to know you a bit more. I have one last question for you. And that is, if you could go back in time and talk to your younger self, what would you tell yourself?
I would say, so I had a teacher ask us in 10th grade, who here is going to be a teacher? Who here plans to be a teacher growing up? And only 3 out of 15 raised their hand. I did not raise my hand. So I would say never to becoming a teacher.
Oh, that's so funny.
It's the best decision I have made in a while. I don't regret it at all. It's super fun.
Well, Pim, listen, thank you so much. You can come back anytime. I hope you'll accept my invitation to come back anytime
Thank you
to
so
talk
much.
about everything that you're doing. And it's so great to see you and to hear about the great things you're doing. Thank you.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Hi, guys. This is Jason from DesignCast, and I'm here talking to you about Anchor. If you haven't heard about Anchor by Spotify, let me give you a rundown. Basically, it's the easiest way to make a podcast with everything you need all in one place. So here's how it works. Anchor lets you record and edit podcasts right from your phone or computer, so no matter what your setup is like, you can start creating today. Then you can distribute your podcast to the most popular listening platforms, including Spotify, with a single tap. Anchor is also the only place you can publish video podcasts to Spotify. With Anchors, creators can earn money in a variety of ways, including ads and podcast subscriptions. Best of all, Anchor is totally free. So download the Anchor app or go to anchor.fm to get started.
I hope that you enjoyed that episode of DesignCast. Again, I'm Jason. I am the creator and host and one-man band when it comes to this podcast. I sincerely hope you enjoyed it, and please share it with your colleagues and friends and help me network with those folks who you think will benefit from listening to this podcast. If you own a company or you have connections where you would like to partner with me in this podcast, whether it be sponsorship or product reviews or any other possible services, please reach out to me. My contact information is in the show notes, and I cannot wait to hear from you. I only do this because I love talking to people and I love sharing my passion with all the listeners. So if you are interested in possibly being a future guest, please reach out and get in touch. I can't wait to hear from you. I really want to hear about how this podcast and its guests are helping you become better or to enrich your lives. Thank you so much for listening, and until next time, be good to one another.
This podcast is a proud member of the Teach Better Podcast Network. Better today, better tomorrow, and the podcast to get you there. Explore more podcasts at www.teachbetterpodcastnetwork.com. We'll see you on the next episode.